lawmaker trying to put the brakes on the Environmental Protection Agency's risky bet on this higher blend of ethanol and gasoline. Joining me now, Republican Congressman Jim Sensenbrenner of Wisconsin. Congressman, welcome back to the show. Always great to have you here.
Happy to be here.
Tell me about your major objection to E15. What is the problem with E15?
Well, E15 will void the warranty on practically every car that's been manufactured in this country since 2001. That's because the engines are not able to absorb this amount of ethanol compared to gasoline. And the AAA estimates that 228 million cars are being placed at risk.
So we're talking BMW, Chrysler, Nissan, Toyota, the Bug, all of these cars at risk. Why is the EPA pushing this blend, this variation on a theme of gas, if it's so harmful to cars?
Well, the EPA is tone deaf to what the American public wants, and this is just one example of it. If E15 is mistakenly put into any of these cars and the engine ends up being damaged because the gas is running too hot, the warranties would be voided and the motorists would end up paying thousands of dollars to get the engine repaired. I think that this is something that really tells the consumers that they don't matter when government decisions are made.
Now, but let me ask you, Congressman, let me ask you this. Why is the EPA pushing this thing? Because it looks like the benefits, if you look strictly at the environmental benefits, are pretty marginal.
Well, they are really very marginal because the more ethanol that's in the gas, the lower the gas mileage the automobile has. So that means we would be burning more fuel, total fuel, which means that there will be more pollutants that go out the tailpipe. I think it's kind of a half and half thing, but you got to remember that it was Iowa that got President Obama on the road to victory in 2008, and a lot of the ethanol ends up being made in Iowa.
Well, and a lot of the states that sell E15 are in that region: Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas. That's where this gasoline is being sold right now. But I understand there's a big fear that this is going to be approved for the whole country. What would happen then?
Well, what would happen then is there would be a lot of people that would be mistakenly putting E15 in their cars because there wouldn't be separate pumps for E15, and you'd have to push the right button or read something that was stuck on the pump. Now, you and I know that most of us don't read the stuff on the pump when we go and fill up. I sure don't. I stick in the credit card, put the blend I want in, and fill my car up with gas. And I'm not going to be very happy if I mistakenly put E15 in my car and 4 miles down the road, the engine blows up.
Well, is it just politics? Is it just the president rewarding people who helped him get the job all over again that is putting this, what is really financially damaging product into the marketplace?
Well, you'll have to ask the president and EPA Administrator Lisa Jackson. What I can say is that over a year ago, I wrote to every manufacturer of automobiles in the United States and asked them what would happen with E15 in their cars. And all 14 of them wrote me back saying that the engines would be ruined and the warranties would be voided. So that would mean that anybody who mistakenly put E15 in their tank would have to pay for their repairs on their own. So far, the EPA has refused to budge on their mandate, which they call optional. But if you were running a gas station, you weren't going to put in an investment of $100,000 for more underground tanks and a separate pump. You probably would be selling E15 because of the mandate, and then the gas that most cars can safely run on simply wouldn't be available. And we haven't gotten to talking about how small engines are wrecked, like lawnmowers and snowmobiles and ATV and outboard motors. They'd all be wrecked too.
Well, Congressman, quickly, I know you've introduced legislation. Do you expect it to come to the floor? Will we see it, or is it going to die a death because, people sometimes just don't listen to reason?
Well, anything that isn't on the president's desk by the time the lame duck session adjourns or January 3rd is automatically killed. But I'm going to be back next year because the more the word spreads about what the EPA is doing, the better chance we will pass legislation to put the EPA mandate on hold until the National Academy of Sciences does an objective study of the impact of E15 on engines that are used by consumers in the United States.
All right, Congressman, thanks for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.